Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to the show, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. If you are new to the channel, I am your host, Robert, a.k.a. The Tall Man. This is my lovely wife, Lisa, and co-host, a.k.a. Mrs. Tall Man. Not that anyone ever calls her that. We are coming to you live right now from Tall Man Mobile. With that out the back... No, that's not out the back window. We call that faux balcony cam. That is a shot that we took from one of our recent cruises, and we just love that view, so we like to have that up there. We want to thank, again, each and every one of you for being with us. We have a ton of stuff to talk about tonight. Lots of stuff in the news. There's been a murder. There's been cancellations and all the other antics that happen throughout the week in the cruise industry. We have some big news to talk about throughout this show, so make sure you stick around. Lots of things that are going to affect the industry. So we appreciate each and every one of you being with us. So hello, hello, hello. Don't be afraid. Leave a comment. Engage. That's why we do the news live. So hello, Macrina. Welcome. Gina, good to see you as well. Danny, yo times two. I'm assuming that's you and Mrs. Mac. We're going to go with that.
I was thinking it was second time around.
It is. Happy Mother's Day to you, Bev.
Happy
right?
Mother's
Patricia.
Day.
I'm ready to sail. I know, right?
Yes.
We're ready to sail too. It's
Yes.
coming up. It's so close. It's coming up. It's coming up.
Right around the corner.
Mrs. Mac there and accounted for. And Irene, welcome and happy Mother's Day to you as well.
Thank you. Happy Mother's Day.
So thank you all for being with us. Mama Tall Man isn't going to be with us tonight because she's on a little vacation herself. Actually, they're here local. They're doing a timeshare thing, but they're out doing that. So we're not going to see Mama Tall Man. So Mama Tall Man, hopefully you're enjoying your last night here. So. Well, with that being said, shall we get to the news? And then we'll get... Oh, big announcements. Housekeeping notes. One, if you're new to the channel, do us a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button as well as the thumbs up. That helps out the channel a tremendous amount, and we appreciate it. It tells the YouTube algorithm that you enjoy cruising and enjoy the cruise content, so we appreciate that. So there's that. Two, if you have any questions about anything we're talking about tonight or just anything in particular about the cruise industry, leave it in the chat. That's why we do this live. So that being said, shall we get to the news?
Let's do it.
Let's get to the news, and we do it, of course, Tall Man style.
Here's the latest cruise news with your host, the Tall Man.
And Mrs. Tallman, a.k.a. All right, first news piece. Royal Caribbean overbooked again.
Oh, my goodness.
It seems going to be, I think, a recurring theme, and we'll probably not talk about it anymore because it happens, I think, a lot more these days than has happened in the past. But Royal Caribbean, we talked about this last week. One of their ships was oversold, and they were offering a very, very attractive deal to cancel and or move your cruise. Well, they're doing it again. So if you're on Royal Caribbean ships, pay attention to your email, pay attention to your spam in case it goes there, because it's potential they may offer you the ability to either switch a cabin and or cancel, basically full refunds plus a free cruise, all kinds of cool things that they're doing. So we wanted to mention that again. Let's get rid of that. So Virgin is doing a bit of rebranding with one of their events.
Really?
Yeah. So for lack of a better description, a lot of cruises have what are called specialty cruises, where they bring on different artists and different executives or different craftsy kind of things.
Okay.
Some of them are full buyout. Some of them are just large group kind of things. Virgin has been calling them celebration cruises, and they're changing the name to the Red Hot Sailing Club.
Oh, okay.
And so if you see that name when it comes to Virgin, the Red Hot Sailing Club is essentially their specialty cruises. So there you go.
Good to know.
So imagine this. A cruise ship pulls into a port in Athens, or at least, close to the port, because some of the not Athens, in Greece, sorry. Some of the islands are small, like Santorini.
Yeah.
You don't go to the dock. You sort of hover and drop anchor or whatever and then tender in.
Yeah.
Well, a ship did that and caused a massive power outage.
Oh, no.
When they let the anchor go, it actually clipped the underwater power cable that runs on the bottom of the ocean.
Oh, no.
And it cut out power to like 10,000 people on the island.
Oh, no.
So those cables that run in the ocean, they're not buried. They're just laying on the surface down there.
Wow.
And I mean, of all the places they could have dropped the anchor, boom, right on there.
Oh my goodness.
So there were 2 ships in port that day. A Celestial Journey was one of them, and a Regent Seven Seas cruise, the Grandeur, Regent Seven Seas Grandeur. And they believe it was the Celestial Journey that actually clipped the cable. So.
That reminds me of an episode of Gilligan's Island.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, with the cable underwater getting broken.
Ah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, all right. So for the Royal Caribbean fans out there, it was announced just in the last couple of days that the Star of the Seas is 96% ready already.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So for all those Royal Caribbean fans out there, this will be the second Icon class ship coming out later this year. We are scheduled to go on the inaugural, so knock on wood that we actually get to go. So so that's exciting that it's already 96% ready.
Yeah.
Of course, it's the last 4% that takes months.
You're right. No, I mean you've got your carpeting and
Yeah.
your artwork and
Well, think about it. Typically, a ship will float out after 18 months of
Yes.
build time, and then takes another 18 months to finish it.
Yeah.
And it's all that finish work that takes so much time.
It does.
So, but yeah, they say 96% done.
Wow, good for them.
So cancellations. Speaking of Royal Caribbean,
Oh no.
we actually lots of things we talked about last week that made it into the news again this week. Last week we talked about that they had canceled a few more cruises to Labadee, to Haiti.
Yes.
They've now gone ahead and canceled months
Oh my goodness.
of visits to Labadee. So for those who are booked through the summer, please check your itineraries. You more than likely are not going to be going to Haiti.
Wow.
We talked about this before and why. There's a lot of civil unrest there. It is just not safe. And so Royal Caribbean's doing the right thing by making the change. At this point, they should probably just take it out completely until things are stable and then put it back in. But it's harder to put it in than it is to take it out.
Yeah, I guess so.
Right, because you put it out there for sale, and this is what the itinerary is going to be.
Yeah.
But if you decide to put it back in, well, what are you going to take out to insert it? Right. So I know that that upsets a lot of people because sometimes they book specific itineraries based upon the locations they're going to. In this case, Haiti. But it is just not safe. So they have now canceled months, which is affecting 3 different ships.
Wow.
So. Yeah, something else that just won't seem to go away.
Oh no.
The Carnival Triumph.
Yeah.
Not the new name, the Carnival Triumph. Netflix is doing a show, and they're dedicating an episode to the poop cruise.
Oh my goodness.
I believe the show is called Trainwreck.
Oh.
And so they are profiling the happenings, what happened on the Triumph. For those who don't know, who are new to the industry, some years back, not too long ago, but I forget the actual year. When was it? 2013. The Carnival Triumph had a massive power failure.
Yes.
And was adrift. And they ended up having to get towed. But it took days to get back into port. I mean, like 3 or 4 or 5 days, something like that.
It took a while, yeah.
Well, without power, nothing works. So the AC doesn't work. The toilets stopped working. Thus the name Poop Cruise, because if you had to go to the bathroom, you had to do it in a bag. And then those bags got kind of left around. So people took sheets and then tied them up to the upper decks, and that's where they were hanging out and sleeping because, again, it just turned into a big oven inside the cabin.
Exactly.
For those who had balconies, they were sleeping on the balconies instead of in the cabins and things. So, but yeah, they actually renamed the ship because of that to try to get rid of the stigma.
Yes.
But Netflix is
bringing it right back
bringing
up.
it back. Bringing it back.
Oh, my goodness.
So, Costa has announced they're shrinking the fleet some more.
Okay.
In late 2026, they're going to get rid of another ship, the Costa Fortuna, which is their oldest ship, and shrinking their fleet down to 8.
Okay.
So I don't know whether to say if it's a good thing or a bad thing. There's been no announcements of new ships for Costa. but they are shrinking the fleet by yet another. And it's not going to Carnival.
I was just going to say,
Yeah.
I wonder if Carnival was going to absorb it.
I don't think so because the ship is so old. It doesn't mean that
Gotcha.
they're not, but they have not announced who the ship is being sold to.
Gotcha.
Just that it has been sold to a third party. So there you go. Okay, let's see. What do we have here? Oh, so Silver Seas luxury cruise line has been fined. They on a recent sailing in Italy, one of their newer ships, the Silver Ray, got too close to land.
Oh, no.
So speaking of Costa and land
Yes.
and Italy, we all know what happened to the Costa Concordia. Well, this ship, oddly enough, did something very similar,
Oh, my goodness.
with the exception of they didn't sink. They came within 500 meters, or about, I think it's 1,500 feet, of a rock. It's actually called the Faraglione of Capri, which is sort of a big rock. But as rock formations go, they have a protected area.
Yes.
Plus, there's a very there's an ecosystem there that is
Okay.
very, very subjective to damage.
Okay.
Right, and so it's very protected because of this. In fact, there's been some kind of seal, which is almost extinct, recently seen there.
Oh.
And so they try to keep the cruise ships away. Anyway, what I find interesting was they weren't fined all that much. It was like $1,100 or something US.
Yeah.
So,
that doesn't seem
And the captain got a written warning. So, but
interesting.
yeah, I just thought that was very strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the ship, the Silver Ray. It's only it's, by the way, within 500 meters is about 1,640 feet. Sorry, and the ship is about 100 feet long. It's a small ship, right? But still,
Yeah,
you got to stay away.
Yeah.
You got to stay away.
Absolutely.
So, speaking of digging things back up, not the Carnival thing, but there has been, and it doesn't really make the news a lot, but there has been post-COVID, and I guess even during COVID time, lots of lawsuits that have stemmed from COVID and things that happened to the industry and different things. And there's all sorts of lawsuits that happen regardless, whether, people get upset about itinerary changes, they sue. People stub their toe, they sue. It's ridiculous.
And that's our culture, I think.
It is.
Yeah.
In
sadly.
this particular case, we're talking about Celebrity Cruises.
Okay.
Two of their ex-crew members who were crew leading up to the pandemic. Of course, pandemic happens, cruises stop. And again, this is all known stuff. And a lot of the crew were stuck for months, month to months on the ships until the cruise industry could figure out how to repatriate these people back to
Yes.
their home countries.
Yes.
It was a massive undertaking. And all on the shoulders of the cruise lines.
Yes.
They had to spit out the money. In this particular case, in most cases, I should say, they ended up chartering, planes to fly some people. And then the rest, once a few months had gone by, they actually would sail the ship.
Yes.
They
Back
moved
to
some
the-
people around and filled up one ship with a bunch of people from Philippines and filled up another ship with... Anyway,
Yes.
in this case, there are two members from one of the Celebrity ships. During the pandemic, they were stuck and nothing to do. They decided to abscond with a bottle of liquor from one of the bars,
Okay.
which they got caught and were summarily fired.
Okay.
Even though there was nothing going on the ship, there was no passengers, their rules and regulations still stand. And the crew is not allowed to take alcohol. You're just not. They have a crew bar. You can buy a drink if you want, and their drinks are very amicably priced, I should say. Sorry about that. But in this case, they stole a bottle, so they were fired. Well, typically, if that happens, they're going to drop the crew, those people who fired off at the first port.
Yes.
You're done. See you. Then they're on
Yes.
their own. They got to fly themselves home and all this stuff. Well, of course, they couldn't because they were stuck on the ship because of COVID. And so they sued them for wrongful imprisonment.
Oh my
And
goodness.
emotional something, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, they lost. And of course, they appealed. And they lost that again.
Okay.
So I just found it interesting that two guys who were fired for stealing were suing the company.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, there's that.
Especially during COVID, because I mean the cruise ships weren't allowed to come anywhere near land.
No,
So,
not at all.
There wasn't much choice there.
So also in the news this week, the Carnival Legend arrives in San Francisco for the very first time. And that is where it's going to be spending the summer. They're going to be doing Alaska cruises. So welcome Carnival Legend to San Francisco.
Yay! Very nice.
And technically, this is only the second Carnival ship to ever port in San Francisco.
Is it? Okay.
So for those in San Francisco, you have the option of getting on the Legend and going up to Alaska for the summer season.
Very nice.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of Carnival, always fun stuff with Carnival. So there's been a recent upsurging in complaints about unruly guests during the shows.
Okay.
Right. So there's actually two stories here. One is about people talking. The other is about people showing up late and trying to get to the seats that, are in the middle. Because when people sit down, they don't always squeeze all the way in and leave the end seats empty. They just sit where they want to sit. And there's always 2, 3, 4 seats somewhere in the middle.
Yes.
So to get there, as everyone well knows who's been on the ship, there's not a ton of space. You typically, at least I do, because I'm 6'4", drink. You got to stand up to let people get by.
Yes.
And it's very disruptive to the show.
Yeah.
It's disruptive to the people watching the show. It's disruptive to the entertainers on stage. It is very disruptive. And so there's been another cry, if you will, to find a solution to keep people from coming in late. Like, can you open the doors earlier? And what I find interesting about that comment is they were late. Opening the doors earlier isn't going to get them there any earlier. So I feel a lot what happened. Not always, but I would think a majority of them are late because of dinner times.
I would agree.
Right? So if the first show time is usually around 7:30, doors open at 7.
Yeah.
So it gives you half an hour to find a seat and get comfortable.
Yeah.
Well, if you have a 6 o'clock dinner time,
Yes.
or 5:45 or something like that, you're going to be pushing it,
Yes.
getting there on time.
Yes.
And so I feel a majority of the people that walk in late are because they're just coming out of dinner.
I would tend to agree.
So
I mean, many times we find ourselves in that position.
yes,
Yeah.
we have.
We better hurry or we're going to miss the show.
Right? The other side of that story is talking. There was this one particular passenger who had recently experienced like full-blown conversations going on through the entire show. Not like a pss, 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 but like talking at full volume
Yeah.
during the show.
Yes.
And talking about disruptive and a pain in the butt, right? So look, being at a show on a cruise ship is no different than being at a show on dry land, whether you're going to a movie theater, whether you're going to a Broadway production, any of that stuff. Once the show starts, shh.
Yeah.
There's no talking.
If
Now,
you're going to talk, if you're going to have conversations, that should be outside of the theater, not during a show.
if you have to say something, then it's just a little whisper. In one of these particular cases, the person doing the talking was trying to explain stuff to the younger child.
Okay.
But the explanation went the entire show and at full volume.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right? So, guys, just simple etiquette when you're on a cruise ship or anywhere for that matter. If you're in a movie theater, if you're at a Broadway show, any type of show where the lights go down, that means phones off, if you will, right? On silent at the very least, and no talking. If you have to whisper, whisper. But please, no talking. Let's be kind to the people around you, as well as, again, the performers. Trust me, they can hear that, right? You don't think so, but when you're standing on stage, you hear what goes on in the audience. You won't hear a whisper, but if somebody's talking, you're going to hear that, especially since everybody else is quiet.
Yes.
So just a little bit of etiquette. All right. So that's about halfway through the news. So let's go over a couple of the announcements we have. So again, for those joining us, do us a huge favor. Hit that thumbs up button. It really helps out the channel. It tells the YouTube algorithm, hey, this is a cruise video. Maybe some more cruises out there might want to see this. So please hit that thumbs up. Consider subscribing. We do all things cruising. And speaking of all things cruising, we do one thing that a lot of people don't. When we're on cruise ships, we broadcast live every single night from the cruise ships that we're on. And we bring you a piece of that ship every night through our 360-degree tours. So consider subscribing to the channel. So there's that. Next, we have a group cruise coming up. Right there, group cruise. 180 days from now.
Yay!
Right?
Thank you.
We would love to have you all with us on the group cruise. So here's a little information on the group cruise.
Come join us November 8th, 2025.
There'll be meet and greets,
Parties.
pineapples.
Ducks. And of course, the live shows.
Don't miss our first ever group cruise. We'll see
see
you
you
on the horizon. There you go, everybody. If that went by too fast, there is the email to send us if you want to go on the group cruise. FYI, we are not travel agents if you're new to the channel, so we didn't set this up to make bookings off you guys. We just want to hang out with the Tallman Clan. But we do have an agent that put this together for us so we could get all the good perks. And so if you send me an email, just say, I want to go on the group cruise, and the title, I will forward you Kathy's information, and you can go ahead and give Kathy a call, and she will book you into the group. Now, if you want to go with us and attend the group functions, you must book into the group.
Yes.
Okay? So send us an email. Also, we have a Facebook group. There it is, Tall Man's Cruise Adventures. So just go to Facebook, look that up. It is a private group, so you do have to answer 2 questions to get in. First question is, what was your very first cruise? Second question is adhering to the group rules. Now, we post different things on our Facebook group than we do on YouTube. All the menus, all the itinerary, daily activities, food pictures, we do all kinds of stuff. They're different on the Facebook group. So make sure you go there. Again, it doesn't cost you anything. Just go there and be part of that because we have a whole different community there as well.
Yes.
Last but not least, if you want to help support the channel, we do have a Patreon account. In fact, we had our very first live Patreon stream just before this stream. And so for those who are part of Patreon, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate your support and helping support this channel. Anyone else that wants to help, there you go. Just go to patreon.com/tallmanclan. Consider becoming a member. It's $5 a month. It's like the cheapest plan. It's $5 a month. And that really helps. Believe it or not, every penny helps, guys. We're not supported by the cruise lines. We're on our own dime. We've been on 31 cruises over the past 2 years. All out of our pocket. We're not travel agents. Nobody gives us this stuff. So, yeah, we appreciate the support. So there's that. Okay, that's it for the housekeeping notes. One last big announcement, and then we'll finish the news up. If the planets align, knock on wood, tomorrow night we're releasing a video at 7 p.m. It's a cruise industry video. We talked a little bit about this last week, about how the cruise industry needs to get off their butts, get in a room, and create an industry-wide banned list. It is just ridiculous that somebody that gets banned on one ship 3 weeks later can book a cruise on a different ship. That is ridiculous, especially when most people that get banned, it's because of some sort of criminal activity,
Yes.
whether it's assault or sexual assault or whatever. So we have made a special video about this and a call to action for the industry. again, you're going to want to pay attention to that. And hopefully we can get this video passed around to a lot of people. Share it with other creators. Share it with everybody. Because it's not about Robert and Lisa. It's not about the channel. It's about making the cruise industry better and safer. And enjoying ourselves without the potential threat of injury, if you will. So that, again, we need the planets to align, believe it or not. So hopefully they'll all align. It'll be out tomorrow. So just hit the subscribe button, but the notification bell, that'll let you know when the video comes out. But it'll be at 7 o'clock tomorrow night if we put it out. If not, it'll be the next day. Tomorrow, the next day. But we have it scheduled already for tomorrow, but there's 2 other things that have to fall into place for that to work. So anyway, so there's that. All right, so a couple quick comments, and then we'll get to the rest of the news, because there's still a bunch. So let's see here. Hello, Jared. How are you tonight? Good to see you. I'm not sure if we missed Irene, so hello, Irene.
Happy Mother's Day.
Alex, good evening to you as well, buddy. How are you doing? Whoever dropped the anchor needs to buy a lotto ticket. I know, right?
Oh, man. That was crazy.
Ahoy, matey. How's it going, EJ? Foam for the doors, right? You can cancel forever. Haiti will never recover. Potentially. You never know.
Yeah.
Hello, Valerie. Good to see you. And yes, happy Mother's Day to you and everyone else.
Yes.
Maybe someone is buying the cost of ship for another live at Sea Cruise. I don't know. Or live at Sea Cruise, not live.
Yeah.
Maybe we're going to talk about that because the Vivv's in the news again.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Macrina also says love to all the moms out there. So some extra love there.
Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you for the thumbs up. We appreciate that.
Yes.
Hello, Ashley. How are you doing? Good to see you.
Hey.
Yeah, we're not doing that tonight. Carnival ships are like summer camp. Yeah, I mean they can be 3 and 4 day cruises on Royal.
On any ship.
Any shorter cruises, it's more summer camp like. I will say Carnival might be at the top of that.
Oh, of course.
But there are others that things get a little wild. But God, just a little etiquette, y'all. Just a little etiquette. Good evening, Desiree. What happened? We're going to get to the top story here in just a minute. Yeah, we haven't talked about the murder yet. Woohoo! Group cruise. Yes, I know.
Yes.
Group cruise. What happened on one of the cruise ships? Yeah, we're about to talk about that here in just a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're caught up with everybody's on the comments. As I said, if you have a comment or question, make sure you leave it in the chat. So let's get back to the news.
All right.
So we were talking about Greece and the anchor.
Yes.
Right? For those,
I thought it was Italy.
Italy. Did I say Italy?
Yeah.
That's trying to tie things together and it's not working. So it's the summer season now, starting in the Mediterranean.
Okay.
And one of the most popular stops really is Santorini.
Yeah.
And I'm sure for those who are going to Santorini have been paying attention. And if you haven't been paying attention, earlier this year, Santorini went through some earthquakes, some pretty substantial earthquakes. People were freaking out. A lot of people fled the island who lived there, left for safety reasons. It turns out, according to the authorities, it was not volcanic related. For those who don't know, Santorini is basically the rim of a volcano.
It is, yeah.
Anyway, well, this has caused some damage. And it still hasn't been 100% fixed yet. What I mean by this is, again, for those who don't know, when you go to Santorini on a cruise ship, you pulled up to the port of Fira. And it is like 780, 800 feet up to the city.
It's pretty steep.
It's
a steep incline.
It's very steep.
Yeah.
In fact, let me do this real fast, everybody. Here, let me just give me a second. I had a picture, but I didn't get a chance to upload it. Just hang on. Hang on.
A work in progress.
Yes, always a work in progress.
Yes.
This is going to be ugly, but there you go. So that is the Port of Fira. And, I mean, it is one heck of an incline.
It really is.
To get up there, everybody.
Yeah, the pictures do it no justice.
They really do not. They really do not.
Yeah.
All right. So, as you see, there's a cable car.
Yes.
Well, the cable car was damaged.
Oh, no.
And it's not functioning yet.
Well, that thing was rickety to begin with.
Oh, my gosh.
It scared the heck out of us.
So there's basically 3 ways to get to the top. One, and the most easy, the cable car.
Yes.
Right? Because it's nice for those who have mobility challenges. Get in the cable car. It takes you all the way to the top. It's about a 5-minute ride.
Yes.
Okay? And it pretty much goes nonstop. It's 5 minutes up. People get off. People get on. 5 minutes down. Same thing.
Yes.
Okay? But they can only do about 1,200 people an hour.
Yeah.
So think about that. If you've got 3 ships in port with 4,000 people, that's 12. It would take 10 hours to get everybody up and 10 hours to get everybody down.
Yes.
Anyway, so number 1 is the cable car. Number 2, you can actually walk.
Yes.
There's a walking path.
Yes.
Incredibly steep, incredibly slippery.
Yes.
And honestly, I would call it very dangerous.
Yes.
Which we'll get to the reason why.
Yes.
But it's 600 steps, and and they're not like regular stairs.
No.
It's a step, and then a walk, and then 2 steps, and then a walk, and it does these switchbacks.
Yes.
To get all the way up. There's no rails. There's nothing, and all of a sudden you're looking down 500 feet, like right at the edge. The third way to get up is on a burro.
Yes.
Like a donkey. All right, and you would sit on it, and they will ride you up. But the reason why walking is dangerous is those burros don't care if you're there.
They will run you over.
They nearly knocked me off the cliff.
Yes.
I mean, they just don't care.
And because, animals have no manners, no hygiene.
No. There's poop everywhere.
Everywhere.
Which makes it actually even more slippery.
Very slippery.
So, yeah, sound goes in and out. And we've got weather around us right now here in Central Florida, which is making it even harder, and we apologize.
Oh, no. Yeah.
I don't know why it clips in and out like this. I really don't. It doesn't do it when we're on the ship,
No.
which is weird. Only when we're here.
Yeah.
I don't
Very
get
strange.
it. Yep. Okay, so if you're going to be going to Santorini anytime in the next month, more than likely this is going to be what's going to happen. Now, this is what for sure is happening with the Celebrity Equinox. They're going to tender everybody to another place. So they're going to park in Fira, but then tender everybody about 30 minutes to another, or 20 minutes, or whatever it is, to another place they can get off.
Okay.
They have also, again, they put out a notice to everybody, again, Celebrity Equinox, they, Celebrity, have chartered transports to take everybody into Fira.
Okay.
But that is also a 30-minute drive.
Oh, my goodness.
So you're going to have to knock off 2 hours of your day
Right.
if you're going to be going on the Celebrity Equinox to Santorini, and potentially any other ship that may do the same thing.
Yeah.
So an hour there, half an hour. It's the zigzag. You got a half an hour this way to go a half an hour back.
Right.
And then when you're done, the same thing. Now, when you're done, going down is much easier than going up.
Yes.
You could still take the burros. You just can't, and you can still walk if you want, but you can't take the cable car.
Gotcha.
Now, down, I went ahead of Lisa, and I walk at a good clip. I've talked about this before for those who've been around for a while. I'm 6'4", drink. I walk at a good clip. Even going down, it took me 25 minutes to get from the top all the way down. Again, that's going down with gravity helping. Going up, I bet it probably would have taken at least an hour, if not slightly longer, because it's pretty steep.
Probably. And going down, I slipped and almost fell on my rear end about 3 different times.
Yeah.
So I was going slower. Wasn't I like about 15, 20 minutes
Yeah, because
behind you?
it took you 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So you were about 20 minutes behind me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, after the first couple of slips, I was like, oh, okay, I'm going really slow. And even then, I still slipped one more time.
So for the hour that it might take you to get up or longer, it's still better to do the tender and then the transport.
It is.
So,
it really
there you
is. I mean, it's exhausting, too.
It is.
Yeah.
So I know this has been talked about a couple of times before, but of course, MSC is going to be porting full-time in Galveston.
Yes.
And, right?
Yes.
And we're just under 6 months.
Nice.
And so when this happens, I think it's the Seascape, or is it the Seaside?
I think it's the Oh, yeah.
Hang on. It's the Seascape.
Seascape.
The Seascape is going to be there full-time. And they're built a new terminal. And so the terminal and the ship are all going to be essentially christened on the same day, which is November 9th.
Nice.
So we're just a little less than 6 months from that. So congratulations, MSC. You're 6 months, you're almost there.
And Texas, enjoy.
What is this? I don't remember this. Yeah. So it has been something that has been happening in the industry recently, for those, again, who pay attention to the entire industry, that a lot of the corporation, if you will, and some not, do status matching.
Yes.
Like MSC will status match.
Yes.
Royal, they do status matching. So if you sail on any of their corporate lines,
Yes.
Royal, Celebrity, or Seabourn, Silver Sea, I can't remember the third one.
Silver Sea.
Silver Sea, yeah.
Yeah.
They do status matching. Well, of course, inevitably, Carnival, corporation, status match. They have confirmed that as far as they're concerned, they are never going to do that.
Well,
so,
then.
Right? So as far as anyone who is mostly cruising on Carnival, but maybe wants to try out either Holland or Princess or Cunard, they own like 10 different lines, Ida and a couple others.
Yeah.
They are not going to status match.
Wow.
And into the foreseeable future, if never.
Wow.
So you can stop asking. Okay. So this is going to be a rough one to try to explain to people. Vivv. Okay, Vivv is a residence at sea. We talked about them a lot because of their 6-month-ish delay in getting their inaugural launched. This is not their fault. It was just mechanical failure after mechanical failure when they were getting the ship redone, and things that they had no idea of until you take the ship apart had to be fixed, and then there was problems with the ship. Anyway, they finally got out there. Well, based upon the things that I'm about to tell you, I don't think they're doing good.
No.
And you can read into this if you want. It's just my opinion. I have no idea. But they have announced in 2028. Starting in November 2nd of 2027, they're going to be doing a 301-day world cruise.
Okay.
So that's part one of this.
Yes.
So the first thing is, it's supposedly on a 3.5-year world cruise, like multiple times.
Yeah.
So why are they announcing this special 301-day thing? There'll be 7 different segments, so you don't have to do the whole thing. You can do different segments of it, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
What I also found interesting when I went to look into it a little bit more, they have now created 5 different ways for you to get on that ship.
Wow. Okay.
One, you can out and out buy a cabin.
Yes.
A villa at sea. Buy your own. They start at about $130,000 now for an inside, and they go up from there. Now, with that, you will also have a monthly fee.
Yes.
Starts around $2,000 per person and goes up again depending on the cabin. I think the suites are like $5,500 a month per person.
Okay.
Whether you're in it or not. Okay. So again, $130,000 to buy it and $2,000 a month. There's that. Or you could rent a villa.
Okay.
Some people that own turn them back to the company to rent back out.
Yes.
So that will help with some of your fees.
Yes. If you want to own it but don't necessarily want to live on it full time.
That's the second way.
Yes.
Third way is something called Endless Horizons. Now, for a one-time payment, entry level, $350,000, double occupancy, I believe it was. Hang on.
So that's for 2 people?
Hang on. No, it's per person.
Per person.
Hang on. Oh, crap. I hit the wrong button, y'all. Figures. I always hit the wrong button. Inside, yeah. Nope. Okay. Let me get to the price scale. I want to make sure I say this correctly to you guys. Where is it? Pricing overview. It's $350,000 for a solo, or $600,000 for double occupancy. Again, that is an ocean view.
Okay.
That's where this starts. Not inside cabins, ocean view.
Okay.
For a balcony, it's $650,000 or $900,000. That's $650,000 or $900,000.
Or $900,000 for 2.
double.
Okay.
If you want a suite, that is $1.25 million for one, or $1.75 for doubles.
Okay.
Now, with this, there are no monthly payments. Meaning no extra fees.
Gotcha.
Like you do if you do the I'm going to own it, right? So if you do the Endless Horizons, there are no extra fees.
But is that a full-time
Yeah.
That's a year?
With a one-time payment for only $350, you gain unlimited access to a guaranteed ocean view villa with no monthly fees. Based upon availability, but you can sail as much as you like.
Interesting.
Right?
Wow.
So I did the math on this. If you did this and didn't get off, it would take you 5.5 years to be on the plus side.
Okay.
In other words, $130,000 plus the monthly for two people, if you will. It would take 5.5 years to get up to $350,000.
Interesting.
Right? So there's that. Now, they also have the fourth one. Thank you very much for the thumbs up.
Thank you. Thank you.
The Endless Horizons Unleashed.
Okay.
This is a little bit more expensive. This is $400,000 entry.
Okay.
But this gives you full access. The Endless Horizon, you don't get everything. You get most things, but not everything.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay. And the fifth and the last way, to me, timeshare.
Really?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm calling it. It's called seasonal ownership. For $25,000, you get 120 points a year. That 120 points will get you an inside cabin for 60 days or a balcony for 30 days.
Yeah, that sounds like timeshare.
Yeah. It's points.
Interesting.
Yep.
Very interesting.
$25,000. Yep. So.
Well, I will say, I follow some of the people that are on board on Facebook, and they do go some great places, and they have a lot of fun.
Oh, I'm not saying for the passengers they're not.
Yeah.
We would kill to be there.
Yeah,
Absolutely
definitely.
would love to do that full time.
Yeah.
100%. Vivv, call us.
We're
be there.
available.
We're available. Absolutely would love to do that.
I
So this isn't
know.
about the passengers.
Yeah.
But respectfully, fuel costs a lot. Food costs a lot. Staff costs a lot. There's a lot of money that it takes to operate a ship.
Oh, without a doubt.
That ship holds 600 people.
Yes.
When they left, I don't know how many there are now, but when they left, they only had 125 full-time people on board.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And so they're sailing with 25%
yeah.
capacity. Now, again, there may be some more people who have come on since, but they only left with 125 people.
Gotcha.
And so when they do these restructuring things, to me, it just says they're struggling financially.
yeah.
So we wish them the best.
Yes, we do. Absolutely. Love the concept, and yeah, best wishes.
Yeah, so on a recent Royal Caribbean ship, the ship was unnamed. There was a family. Of course, it's their first cruise. And every time they walked into their cabin, it smelled like poo-poo.
Oh, no.
Ooh, poo-poo. And they were wondering, is it always like that? First, they thought it was they have a young baby, and they check the diaper and all that stuff. And no. And so guys if you're new to cruising and you're watching this because you're learning things, sometimes, not always. And honestly, I think maybe we smelled something maybe once or twice in all the different cruises we've been on.
Yeah.
But these ships operate 24/7, 365 days a year. They're never turned off. They're essentially floating hotels, right? And sometimes there's a plumbing problem. It happens. And so if it does happen, you might smell something. Now, one of the quickest and easiest tips, guys, this is just a quick tip for everybody. Run some water in the sink and make sure you also run some water in the shower. This happens a lot on 3-day and 4-day cruises because sometimes, believe it or not, people go on a 3-day cruise and they won't shower. And what will happen is the water in the P-trap will slosh out in rough seas. Anything about
Gotcha.
plumbing and stuff, a P-trap is just like a little dip. You have them in all your homes underneath your sink.
Yes.
What that does, water gets trapped in that little area there. What that does is it prevents the sewer gases from backing back up into your house. Well, if that water is gone, well, the sewer gases come out. And that's what happens a lot on ships.
That makes sense. I never thought of that before.
That's not the only problem. That's not the only reason why, I should say. But that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
The seas have been rough. The water sloshes out of the P-trap. They haven't run the sink or haven't taken another shower. You smell sewer gases. So if you happen to walk in a cabin, guys, and smell that, don't freak out. Run some water, leave, and come back and see if that solves it. If not, of course, go to customer service and see what they can do. But I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
So, pier runners. This is fantastic. This is another one. I got to show you guys this. This was hysterical. Well, I don't need to show you. I'll just tell you. So normally people who are missing a ship. For those, again, who are new in the industry, a pier runner is somebody who is late for their ship. And the ship is leaving, and they're running, screaming, trying to get to the ship and get them to come back. Come back, come here, stop! Because you missed your ship. You now have to fly to meet it, if you have your passport, to get to the next. Anyway, this guy on a recent sailing, and I'm not going to talk about the ship or whatever, he stops and takes a selfie. He's got his camera on a selfie stick. He literally turns around to take a picture with the ship leaving in the background. And of course, the people on the ship saw this, and they took videos and pictures of this guy doing a selfie with the ship leaving behind him.
Oh my goodness.
So I just thought it was strange that this particular person is missing his ride and figured, well, let's just have a selfie.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just thought that was funny.
Well, taking it all in stride, I guess.
Taking it all in stride. So, on a recent Virgin cruise, there was a TikToker who was on there, another social media person, who went and ate at the test kitchen. We don't particularly, and have never gone to the test kitchen. We don't like their menu. We've checked ahead of time.
Yes.
So it's not our speed. Anyway, this particular person was disappointed by the portion sizes that was served.
Okay.
What was really funny was the person she was with happened to be filming her when the server came to bring the meal.
Okay.
And they pull the lid off with the smoke and the whole 9 yards, and they wanted to capture this and make a TikTok. And so she pulls, the thing off, and the smoke comes out, and on the plate is a few peas. I don't know, 30 peas. But that's all you can see in the video. The reality was there was a little bit of egg and some caviar with it as well.
Okay.
But it's a smaller portion. And this particular woman was highly disgusted by the portion sizes. Now, mind you, the test kitchen, it's a 5-course meal. So the fact that this particular plate was just some peas or whatever, and if you're still hungry, ask them, they'll bring you another one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But this particular person made such a big deal about being hungry. Now, her handle has something to do with eating in it. So she obviously likes to eat.
Okay.
I get that. In fact, one of her comment was, after this dinner, we went off and got pizza and burgers.
Okay.
So
Virgin pizza's good.
Yeah,
I would
it
have
is.
done the same thing.
Yeah. So I just thought it was funny because I watched the video and the look on her face was hysterical because she was just shocked that it was just a little plate of peas. But guys, sometimes cruise lines portions are a bit smaller. They rather get you more than
to
throw
waste it.
away food.
Yeah.
So if you want more, just ask.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm really hungry. Can I have another one of those? They will go snatch it right up for you. I swear. Just ask. We are nearing the finish line here.
Okay.
So, we're not going to talk about that. That's just shopping. Carnival fans and those who book shore excursions on Carnival, you're no longer going to be getting a ticket from the shore excursion desk. It's all going to be on the app. All on the Carnival Hub app.
Oh, wow.
So that program is testing right now and will be rolled out completely fleet-wide here within the coming month or so.
Very interesting.
So don't expect the envelope at your door anymore. The ticket's actually going to be on the app. You will show up at your appointed time. They'll scan your card now, and that will tie everything together.
Well, okay.
Yep. So
Okay.
no more souvenir tickets.
Yeah.
Yep, so there you go.
Very interesting.
Let's see here. Princess and their drink packages. They've made a change and didn't tell anybody about it. I'm not sure it's a
Did
big
they
change.
now?
Yeah. So canned soda is no longer part of it.
Really?
You can only get fountain soda.
Well, that's weird.
Yep. So if you have one of the drink packages on either one, the basic one or the premium, you can't get canned soda anymore. Only fountain.
Really?
Yep. So
Well, we've talked about, having all the cans and stuff and
you can still get a can.
recycling.
You just have to buy
you
it.
still can.
Oh yeah, it's just not part of the package
so
anymore.
it's okay. Okay. Gotcha.
Because a case of Coke is far more expensive than the liquid.
The liquid, yeah, and this like the soda stream, if you
Correct.
will. So yeah.
Right. What's not thinking of the right word? The goo.
Yeah, the syrup.
The syrup. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and again, they're they're trying to save $1.
Interesting.
Right? It's about the bottom line, guys.
Yeah.
Just telling you, it's always about the bottom line.
Yeah.
Another Carnival news. Nasty rumors. That's why we talk about this, because I don't know how these rumors get started. Okay? But if you're going on a Carnival cruise and you don't have a credit card and you want to put cash down at customer service, you can 100% do that. The nasty rumor is that Carnival's no longer going to accept cash.
Interesting.
Absolutely wrong. If you're going on a cruise, at least on Carnival, I can't speak for any other cruise lines because they all take cash. But in this particular case, this was a Carnival news story that there was a nasty rumor that Carnival is no longer going to accept cash for your onboard stuff, whether it's your gratuities or a dinner or whatever that you rack up on your account while you're on the ship, that they are no longer going to take cash. Again, that is false. They will take cash.
Wow.
Okay. Obviously, credit card's the easiest. You don't have to do anything. You put your credit card down when you're checking in, and then just all the charges go to your credit card. If there is a problem during the cruise, you can be checking your account on the app or on the TV. If you see something wrong, you can go to customer service. But if everything's right, it just charges to your card and you're done.
Yeah.
If you're paying cash, you physically have to go down there, give them cash at the beginning of the cruise.
Yes.
And then physically go down there at the end to cash out.
Yes.
But they are still doing cash.
Good to know.
Yes. By the way, it wasn't a Carnival. I made a mistake. It was somebody on Disney that was talking in the theater.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
that's really an industry thing. It happens on all the cruise lines.
It does.
The funny thing was not the talking, but showing up late. That's one of Tony's big pet peeves.
Is it?
Yeah, sitting in the theater and people coming late and walk across you and stuff. So
Yeah, it is disruptive.
it is. And just 2 stories less.
Okay.
So, again, for those who are newer in the industry or those who've been around for a while and didn't know this, when you book a cruise, and let's say you book it on a promotion, okay, and because they're running a special, let's say a Mother's Day special. Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
Happy Mother's Day.
And for that special, you're going to get $500 of onboard credit, and they're going to put you in the presidential suite. No, whatever it is. But they're running a special promotion. But let's say you're trying to be frugal and you just want an inside cabin. But the promotion is still great, and you're getting your $500 and free drinks and all these things. Okay. Months later, you say, you know what? I really want that balcony cabin. You know what? Let's splurge and let's get this. If you call them back and you switch to that balcony cabin, your promotion goes away. Unless the same exact promotion is running that day that you call to change.
Wow.
99% of the time, that is never the case.
Agreed.
Okay? So just note, when you book a cabin, if you want to change that cabin, I'm not talking about like an upgrade, meaning like you do the upgrade bid, or the cruise line moves you on their own, or you do a guarantee and they put you in a nice cabin. Not that. If you physically call and say, hey, I booked an inside cabin and I now want a balcony cabin, whatever promotion was attached to your original booking goes away. Okay? So please note that. So if you're expecting onboard credit, but you change cabins, that onboard credit's not going to be there. Okay? And last but not least, which ties into the video that we're going to be releasing tomorrow. This, to me, is the worst story of the week. There was actually a murder on one of the MSC ships. It was in Europe. It was on the MSC Virtuosa. There was 2 people who got into a fight, and the end result of the fight was 1 man died. These were not younger people. The man who died was actually 60. And the man he got into a fight with, if I remember correctly, was 58. Not sure what the fight was about. Not sure if the person beat him to a pulp, kicked him into the ground, smashed him with a bottle. There's no details other than there was a fight. The end result, this man unfortunately has passed away. So our thoughts and prayers go to this gentleman's family. This is an English gentleman who ran some really neat things. Anyway, the ship turned around. They arrested this gentleman, got him off the ship. Charges have been filed for murder. Of course, an investigation is going to, it's always alleged until he has his day in court. But they did release him on bail.
Okay.
3 days later. But ultimately, it is a sad thing.
Yes, it is.
There's no further information. Is this guy banned for life from MSC? It's very hush hush, and which I guess is
part of the investigation. Yeah,
because they want to get this right and don't want anything to get in the way. But of course, the authorities there in England have asked anybody who witnessed this to please come forward and give their testimony.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, so that is the saddest news of the week. Again, a gentleman on the MSC Virtuosa has passed away at the hands of another person. So, again, thoughts and prayers to this gentleman's family. So there you go. So that is news for the week, tall man style.
Filming Tom and Style.
There we go, everybody. Appreciate y'all being with us. Happy Mother's Day for those coming in late.
Yes, happy Mother's Day.
Let's catch up with some of the comments.
All right.
Yeah, let's see here. Ooh, a bunch of them now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like they really need the money. She was talking about Vivv.
Oh, Vivv. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That's right. Yeah.
I've talked about this with a lot of subjects before. I'm just a common sense thinking guy, right? Corporations don't do things and make changes, dramatic type changes, unless there's a reason for it.
Right.
The old saying, don't break it if it's not broke,
Yeah.
So with them coming up with all these different tiered things and this, that, and whatever, and to be honest, to me, some of it's confusing, meaning it's currently on a 3.5 year nonstop world cruise. But then they make an announcement of a 301-day world cruise. I think they're struggling to try to fill the ship up.
Yeah, it does sound like that might be possible.
Which I don't know why, because for residents at sea, as residents at seas go, that ship is so inexpensive.
Yeah.
It is so inexpensive. Most of these residents at sea, you can't think about starting to get on a ship unless you got $1 million.
Yeah.
Right? Their inside start at $130,000. Again, it's not inexpensive, y'all. $130,000 is a lot of money.
It is. It's a lot of money.
But when you compare it to the other residents at sea, it's very, very, very affordable.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm shocked that, again, we're making an assumption, guys. I don't know. They ain't sending us emails. I'm just assuming that they're struggling a little bit. So that's just my thoughts. Danny says, don't forget the overflow floor drain too in the bathroom. Yes. Thank you, Danny.
Yes.
Okay. So next cruise that you all go on, when you go into the bathroom, obviously there's a drain in the shower. There's a drain at the sink. And of course the toilet flushes. If you look typically behind the toilet, there's another drain.
Yes, there is.
And the only way water gets to that drain is if somebody overflowed the shower or the toilet overflowed. And a lot of times it's actually that floor drain water that dries up.
Though. That makes sense.
So make sure you pour some water down there if you're smelling stuff.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
good call.
Good call, Danny. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
He did that to go viral on his social media. He probably already had his airfare booked. Yeah, maybe. Right? There's my ship behind me. We missed it. Whatever. Alex says, I saw a 30-minute YouTuber's video of Pier Runners. The commentary was hilarious. I haven't watched one of those in a while, but yeah, typically they're pretty funny.
Yeah.
Hello, Nurse Tara. Welcome. Happy Mother's Day.
Hi. Yes, happy Mother's Day.
Ashley says, watching Pier Runners is one of the best parts of the cruise. There were some on my Carnival Breeze last week. Yeah, right? Yep. We believe this particular person was, there was a party of 4. Because the captain actually came on and she's like, well, we're sailing with 4 less people than when we showed up with here today.
Oh my goodness.
Rodrigo and your 3 friends, have a good time. Whatever. I don't know the guy's name. I'm just making something up. It began with an R though. I don't know if it was Rico or Rodrigo or, yeah, anyway. So, yeah, anyway, there it is. Alex says, I skipped the test kitchen because I don't want to eat samples for 2 hours and still be hungry. Look, go ahead.
No, I'm just agreeing.
I thought you took
No.
took a breath to say something.
No, I'm agreeing.
That's part of the reason that we don't go, but mostly we don't specifically like the menu to begin with. But it's been well documented that the portion sizes in the test kitchen are smaller. This isn't a shock. And so for someone to go in expecting, the big 32-ounce porterhouse steak with, a 3-pound potato to go with it, and that's not happening. You're going to get 27 peas in a smoke-filled dish. But yeah, so I feel, as things go, that the test kitchen, within a short period of time, will probably see its life and be repurposed into something else.
I don't know. It's hard to say because, there are some people that I've spoken to that absolutely love the test kitchen.
Yeah.
Which, we've never been because, like you said, we didn't care for the menu.
I think the dislikes are greater than the likes.
Yeah.
And that's, with the way, right?
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
Because remember that every restaurant on a Virgin ship is a specialty restaurant.
It is.
And they're all included.
Mm-hmm.
And typically the way that it works is, I think there's 6 restaurants. And if you're on a 6-day cruise, you're only allowed to eat in each one time.
Mm-hmm.
You can't eat at one twice. Now, like us, we don't like the test kitchen. We had to physically go down, speak to the maitre d', and have them schedule us at another restaurant twice.
Yeah, which
Okay?
they will do that.
They will do that.
Yeah.
But you have to make the trip to do it. Can't call ahead of time. Got to do it once you get on the ship.
Yes.
If you're on longer cruises, then longer than 6 days, then you can book them more than once.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so there you go. Macrina says, seat fountain soda versus cans on Princess. Yep.
Yeah.
Fountain soda is cheaper than cans. Oh, by far.
Definitely.
The pop thing seems to be a no-brainer. Yep. Well, according to them, when they made the changes to their drink packages a while ago, originally it was only fountain drinks. But for whatever reason, they stopped that and started doing cans.
Interesting.
And now they're
Going
taking
back.
the cans away and going back to the fountain. We even remember when I was talking about this before with Royal Caribbean and their ports. It's easier to... Well, no, it doesn't work in this case. Well, I mean, it was like, it was an upgrade, and then they downgraded again. At first it was soda, and they're like, fountain soda. Then it was like, okay, well, we're just going to do cans. Most people enjoy a can of soda more than the fountain soda.
Yeah.
Anyway, most people. I know I do. I'd rather have the can. But fountain doesn't bother me either.
No.
So when you give them that and then take it away, that's like, so anyway. Nurse Tara says cash is king. Yeah, it is. Absolutely cash is king.
Yes.
So, I forgot to do the quick recap after the story with the murder on the MSC. This is why we have that video coming out tomorrow night. Again, it's supposed to be out tomorrow night. It's already scheduled, but there's 2 other things that have to fall in place for me to be able to release this video. But I did it sort of an editorial on asking the cruise industry to get off their butts and start talking to one another and create an industry-wide ban list. If you're acting up on, in this case, let's talk about MSC, this particular gentleman, allegedly, right, murdered this other guy. It could have been manslaughter, but it said the headlines were murder. You're banned from the industry, not just MSC. Mm-hmm. Right now, that's all it is.
Yeah.
Like if you're acting up on Carnival and get banned, you're only banned from Carnival. And not even always all of the Carnival Corporation ships.
Yeah.
Sometimes just the one. If you're on Royal, same thing. You're just banned from Royal. So you can go book with somebody else. I think that's a crime. They need to ban everybody industry-wide. There is going to be a petition. That's one of the things that we're waiting for, that we're tying this video to, for everybody out there to put their name on the petition. All your information's kept private, by the way. But that video is coming out tomorrow. But this is why. Is it going to stop these things? I hope it's going to curtail them greatly, because people going on a ship knowing if they do one stupid thing, then they've lost their ability to sail anywhere on any ship.
Yeah.
But that video is coming out tomorrow night. So anyway.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. I think we'll be okay. We should know in an hour or 2.
Okay.
God, hopefully. I hate when these rumors start, usually by the Carnival haters. Yeah, I don't know who starts them, but it gets spread around, and you're in this Facebook group and this roll call and this, that, or whatever, and all of a sudden this thing gets life. And no, cash is king, and it still is.
It's one of those things. Somebody mishears something that somebody else says, and then it just takes off.
Yes, started by the ABC XYZ Facebook page. Probably. Who knows? Helcom didn't know there was a live going on and just stumbled across it. Happy Mother's Day. Absolutely.
Happy Mother's Day to you.
Well,
too.
Mother's Day or not, it's Sunday, and we do our weekly wrap-up, so we I know you guys start missing us. When we go on these cruises, we're on, for 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 days. Like the last cruise was 10 days straight. You guys miss us when we don't come on at least once a week. So we come on Sundays and give you the cruise news and at least spend the evening, Mother's Day evening, with you. So happy Mother's Evening to everybody. Hopefully you had a great day. Hey, Tom, how you doing, buddy?
Hi, Tom.
We're Robert, Lisa, and everyone. I had a great experience at Test Kitchen. The peas and egg with ciabatta bread was delicious. Also, I couldn't decide on beef or venison, so the server said, I'll bring you both. See? Just bring them both.
Just ask. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
like anything else, and I feel it's more of a TikTok thing than anything else because it always seems to be the TikTok thing. I'm not going to say they create the drama, but they create the drama.
A lot of them do.
Right? Look.
Well, same thing with YouTube. A lot of YouTubers create drama as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, it's a 5-course meal. and to Tom's point, if you're still hungry, ask for another.
Yeah.
Bring me the beef and the venison.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I want them both.
It doesn't have to be hard. Drink package is a rip-off. You're paying them to have liver failure.
Man, and some people don't like that 15 drink
know.
limit. Man, I can't even drink 15 glasses of water in a day. I can't
No.
imagine drinking 15 alcoholic beverages. I just can't imagine it.
No, that is a whole nother topic and conversation for another day. I don't get it either. I mean, look, this is coming from people who don't really drink.
Yeah.
We don't. I mean, we will have an occasional cocktail. We've shared this with you before, typically live.
Always live.
Always live. Why not?
If we're going to drink.
All right, because that's just not our thing. In fact, we don't even keep alcohol here.
No.
But we might have an occasional one. But 15 a day?
No.
It just doesn't compute. Look, I know a day is a long time. You're on vacation, so a lot of people start their day at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, have your breakfast, and then the pool, and then the this and that, and you're up until midnight, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning in the club. Okay, I get that, but I can also say back in the day, I could go to a bar and throw down 8 or 10 beers and a couple of 3, 4 shots.
Could you? Okay.
In a night.
Yeah, see, I've never been able to do that, so.
Yeah. So, of course, you were picking me up off the floor the next morning.
Right.
Hey, the bar closed like yesterday. Get up. That happened one time. Hey, what's up, Ozan? Welcome. Alex said, Tom, I had a great time at the test kitchen as well. The food was great. My issue was the food size. Granted, I could have ordered more. See, there you go. Alex, we told you last time. We're not telling you. It's coming up very soon.
Very soon.
So, you know what? I'm going to torture and tease all you. We had our very first Patreon call before this. So thank you to all of our Patreon members out there. We appreciate each and every one of you.
Yes.
We told all of them where we're going. So come and join us on Patreon. There's the big carrot dangle. Patreon.com. Tallman Clan. Look, as little as $5 a month. And supporting the channel really does help us out.
Yeah, it does.
$5 is less than freaking espresso at Starbucks these days. So
it is.
Yeah, and all the support does help because we're on our own here, and so and look, even if you don't want to do that, just a simple thumbs up.
That helps.
That
too.
helps because it tells the YouTube algorithm, hey, people like this video. We're going to share it with more people.
Yeah.
So, but Alex, yeah, we're sorry. It's not public knowledge, but we did tell it to the Patreon people. Mm-hmm. Patricia's like, though, 15 coffees. If she drank 15 coffees, she probably wouldn't sleep for a month.
I probably wouldn't.
Yeah. Ashley's like, Alex, mine's June 5th. And you're going on the Mariner of the Seas. Nice.
Nice.
Of course, I'm sure you've already watched the playlist of videos we have on the Mariner of the Seas, don't you?
Yeah. I enjoyed the Mariner.
Ozone wants to know, how are you young people? Who would want to be on this tourist ship? Of course, we all want to do.
Yeah.
I would love to be in Robert's place in the early days of this morning. Right? Ozon is really from the Turkey, and so a lot of his stuff is translated. So if you're reading it and you're like, what's going on? We appreciate him participating. So
Yes,
hello.
absolutely.
Hello. Come on, EJ. I got info to sell if there's any buyers out there.
Too funny,
Just go to
Danny.
Patreon, Danny. Yeah, it is coming up. You know, though, I will share this. So Pal, Balcony Cam is still not behaving. We've washed it. For those who know, when we're on a ship, we have Balcony Cam. This is Balcony Cam right here. Okay?
Faux balcony.
Faux balcony cam, right? So we have a camera that we put out on our balcony, and of course we have the camera that we're talking to right here. And on a recent cruise,
The NCL Aqua.
the Aqua, yeah,
Weather was horrible.
and balcony cam got very wet.
Yes.
It is not a waterproof camera. It's called a pan tilt zoom camera. That's why we're able to, of course, you see it moving here, but normally we're able to spin that camera around on balcony cam to give you different views. It got wet with a lot of salt, and it is
Ocean spray.
Yeah. So we have now washed it, dried it out, and it's still not happy.
No, it's not. But since we've washed it, we can physically see salt on the outside.
Yeah.
So I think we need to wash it again and
Yep.
try and dry it some more.
It-
because it did come on,
Yep.
and then it turned itself off quickly.
But we did get a replacement camera that hopefully we can try to use this too. So
Yeah.
that was the other news we want to tell you, that we got a replacement just in case. So anyone. So here we go. Nurse Tara says, my next cruise is on the Celebrity Silhouette. Ooh,
Nice.
next Sunday.
Ooh.
Woo.
Yay. Nice.
To Bermuda. Then Symphony of the Seas on May 30th. Nurse Tara. Good Lord, girl.
Nice. I love it.
You want to be our benefactor? Come on. Patreon. Come on. Patreon. Help us out. Alex, I still have to wait until October.
Aw.
That's all right.
October's coming around,
Yep.
coming up quickly
Yep.
though. Yeah.
Trisha says, my cruise is in 180 days. She's talking about the group. Sorry.
Group
I know it's
cruise.
hard to. There we go. Group cruise, right there. 180
Yeah,
days.
there we go.
That's right, Patricia. Come on the group cruise with us, everybody.
Yes.
Angela says, my best friend of 30 plus years went on a cruise out of Baltimore, and within the 2 days before they reached their destination, 2 people between the ages of 40 and 50 died. She watched the Corona remove them.
That's got to be a ship
Yeah.
or a helicopter. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
I'm so sorry to hear that.
we've seen stuff like that, but typically of natural causes of some kind.
Yeah.
Heart attack, whatever. That particular story was not a passenger passing away, whether from a heart attack, a stroke, or this, or whatever. It was 2 people who got into an altercation.
Yes.
And the end result of that altercation is 1 person died.
Yeah.
Which we're going to make a general assumption. If that altercation hadn't happened, this gentleman would still be alive. So we have covered, I think now, 4 evacuations at sea.
Yeah. It seems
so
like every time we do a transatlantic,
Yeah.
there's an
Yeah.
evacuation.
May you both have a wonderful time. Play some. Oh, snack time! I almost forgot.
Oh, yeah.
All right, everybody, grab your snack. Grab your snack. Grab your snack.
Yes, that's our snack.
Snack time.
So here we go again, it's no surprise. 'Cause we know better than to roll the dice. 'Cause we know better than to roll the dice. 'Cause we know better than to roll the dice. 'Cause we know better than to roll the dice. 'Cause we know better than to roll the dice. 'Cause we know better than to roll the dice. 'Cause we know better than to roll the dice. 'Cause we know better than to roll the dice. 'Cause we know better than to roll the dice. 'Cause we know better than to roll the dice. 'Cause we know better than to roll the dice. 'Cause we know better than to roll the dice. 'Cause we know better than to roll the dice. 'Cause we know better than to roll the dice. 'Cause we know better than to roll the dice. 'Cause we know better than to roll the dice. 'Cause we know better than to roll the dice. 'Cause we know better than to roll the dice. 'Cause we know better than to roll the dice. 'Cause we know better than to roll the dice. 'Cause 'Cause we know better than to roll the dice.
right, everybody, there was snack time. We want to know what you had for your snack tonight. Leave it in the chat. We had popcorn, of course.
Yes, we do.
We love our popcorn.
Yes, we do.
So, okay, Alex says 153 days for you on the NCL Escape. Woo!
Nice.
Nurse Tara, they are celebrating their 20th wedding anniversary. Awesome.
Oh,
So we
happy
decided to
anniversary.
do 2 cruises almost back to back.
Yeah,
Oh,
happy
yeah.
anniversary.
Angela was like, this happened last week. On our cruise last week. The full moon is wonderfully shining. I know. Isn't that a great shot, Ozan?
I love that shot.
That is like one of my favorite balcony cam shots.
Right?
With the moon shining off the water. It's just absolutely amazing.
And it was so calm that night, too.
Thank you. EJ, prompt me anytime. Angela says,
Good
well,
call.
I'm in Baltimore area and heard nothing about it on the news or elsewhere. Yeah, I mean, look, that does happen a lot of times. If somebody has passed away at sea, seems to get less coverage than somebody who needs medical evacuation. Those tend to, for whatever reason, get more coverage.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Anyway, EJ's like, got to say that's a great song. I know, right?
We love that song.
Yeah, and I only play a little bit of it. It's like a 3-minute song, but you'll hear some more of that when we do our next cruise. Of course.
Yes, absolutely.
So everybody's dancing. A bloody Caesar. Okay. Is that anything like bloody balls? You're going to have to tell me what that is. I've never heard of that before.
I haven't heard of that one either.
Ooh, mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Nice.
Ashley, you have found my love language.
Yes, you have.
I'm about to have some cookies and cream when we're done with this.
Ooh, yeah.
Cookies and cream ice cream?
Yeah. There you go. Tall man loves some ice cream.
And Angela says probably because they were already close to Bermuda. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that could be.
Nice. Tom says, I've booked Brilliant Lady for late November. Virgin has
Nice.
announced a new show on Brilliant, a murder mystery show. That's acceptable versus a real one, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Preferable.
One person was evacuated. You know, it was funny, and I didn't go back and check, but I don't remember seeing the evacuation that happened on the Aqua. Was it the Aqua or was it the World America? The World America.
World America.
Because Angela was just talking about one person was evacuated, but it didn't make the news.
Right.
So we were on the inaugural of the World America, and outside of us talking about it, I don't think that made the news either.
No, we left Puerto Rico and turned around and went back a few hours
Yeah.
later, and yeah, we were 6 hours behind on our schedule, but the captain made it up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have
But
some
yeah, I
animations.
don't remember seeing that on any news.
We have some animations of our cruises. We're going to be putting that up on Patreon too. That'll be one of the things that we put up there. And it was funny to watch that ship because it's like, doing its thing where, we're doing the normal pace. And then when we leave Puerto Rico, it's like crawl, 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 crawl. You turn back to San Juan, out of the port, and then zoom, it went like so fast because he floored the thing because it was a 6-hour delay.
Yes.
And a 6-hour delay for a cruise ship is, it's a
huge.
catastrophic delay
It
because
is.
you are just not going to make it to where you need to be at the original time. You're going to be late. But that ship, fastest I think in the ocean.
Yeah.
20
in its class, yeah.
23.7
23.7
knots or something like that. Yeah. And man,
and smooth. You wouldn't know. You would
had
not
no
have
idea.
known.
And we made it to our next stop right on time,
We did.
which was their private island.
Yeah.
Now, fortunately, we had a day at sea. So the extra day at sea with the extra speed
Yes.
enabled us to make it up.
Yes.
You wouldn't have made that 6 hours up overnight or whatever.
No, I don't think so.
It wasn't even overnight. We didn't pull back out of San Juan until like 6 o'clock in the morning. So, yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Yes.
So I wanted to know for Trisha what that was. She says it's a Bloody Mary, but using a Clamato juice. Interesting.
Okay.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, no, me either.
Nurse Tara's like, what's Clamato juice?
That's my thought. What is that?
Trisha says, best to Google it. He just says French fries and a vanilla shake, maybe bacon. Try it. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I used to get French fries and chocolate shakes every day on the way home from work years ago.
Ozan says we should get a telescope and watch the stars.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, Elon, I don't want to go. I'm I got vertigo. I'm not going to do well in space. I don't think my patch is going to work for a rocket.
I thought he was telling you to get a telescope so we can look at the stars.
No,
from
he
the
also
ship.
says maybe NASA will take you.
Oh, okay. I missed that part.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Nurse Tara's like, now I don't know if I should. It's extremely good, Nurse Tara. Mott's Clamato juice, very popular up here. There you go. Clamato juice is tomato juice made for Bloody Mary. Yeah, it's just got a different flavor. So
Gotcha.
different
Okay.
flavor. Well, there you go,
Very
everybody.
nice.
Hopefully you enjoyed the news this week. We had all kinds of other stuff going on coming up that we told you about, right? We have our group cruise. Don't forget that. Send us an email if you want to join us. There's our email. Don't forget our Facebook group. We post different things on our Facebook group than we do YouTube, so make sure you join our Facebook group. You'll miss stuff. Whether it's we put all the menus from all the ships we go on, all the daily activities go up there, pictures of all the food that we get, that all goes up there. Plus we post some different pictures and different things, and we haven't done very many, but we'll occasionally do a video on there and some different things. But yeah, we put different stuff up on Facebook that we do, so make sure you go there. Answer the 2 questions or it's not going to let you in.
Yes.
It's a private group. You got to answer the 2 questions.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, one more time, don't forget the Patreon group. We really would appreciate the support. We appreciate it. So there's that.
And we put different stuff up there too.
Yes. Danny Mac says, ooh, Wendy's fries in their chocolate frosty to dip in. Love their
Right?
frosty, but that doesn't work.
Oh yeah, fries and chocolate.
Thank you.
Chocolate
Yes.
ice cream.
We are about to get out of here, EJ, so thank you.
Yes, thank
It's got
you.
clam juice in it. Nice.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Thus, Clamato.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So always happens. We're getting ready to go, and there's a big spike in people watching. Hey, everybody, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Robert, a.k.a. The Tall Man. It's my lovely wife, Lisa, a.k.a. Mrs. Tall Man. Not that anyone calls her that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, become part of the Tall Man. God, I hit the wrong buttons again.
Did you?
Well, I went to get rid of your name, and I hit the Facebook thing, so.
Gotcha.
All right, guys, you know the drill. We do need to say goodbye. So we don't have to go home, but we do have to get the out of here. Peace.